one of most well-loved entries in the long-running Final Fantasy series of video games. Final Fantasy IX will be released for Android, iOS, and PC. The news comes via an announcement from publisher Square Enix. Right now the company confirmed that it will come to your smartphone and computer in 2016 for Japan. While no time frame or date has been announced for other territories, it's safe to say a release outside Japan will follow. This is because each and every Final Fantasy port was eventually launched internationally. Square Enix stated that since its release on the original PlayStation back in 2000, the game has sold over 5 million copies. The game has been available digitally to play on the PS3, PSP, and PS Vita, albeit as a straight-up port of the PS1 version. This time around, it's been updated. Also see, Final Fantasy VI now available for iOS. Much like Final Fantasy VI on iOS and PC, Final Fantasy IX will have achievements, auto-save mode, and game boosting features. Furthermore, it will borrow from Final Fantasy VI on the PS4 and Final Fantasy VII on the PC by adding high-speed mode which lets you skip cutscenes, battles, and more. Surprisingly, Final Fantasy VII never made it to mobile. Though system specifications haven't been announced, it's safe to say Final Fantasy IX will run on most PCs. Android gamers will need a device with Android 4.1 or later, while those on iOS will require at least an iPhone 5S or a 4th generation iPad at the very least with iOS 7.0 or later, according to the game's website. Also see, the ups and downs of Final Fantasy VI Remake are giving me a heart attack. Final Fantasy IX had a fresh setting and a surprisingly endearing roster of characters. It was a throwback to the earlier games in the series that were rooted in a fantasy setting, striking a chord with many a gamer considering that the last two entries in the series prior to it, Final Fantasy VI and Final Fantasy VII, took place in a modern backdrop.